Lesson 174. Never give up on consistency. Eventually, what you strive for will come to fruition if you will not give up. Consistency is born through belief, and this belief creates hope, and this hope will be tested over time, building your character and eventually becoming the person who you desire to be. Even though you will strive through consistency, the pain of inconsistency is far more damaging. It will never be easy because you must go through the tough times of no change with all the effort. But even in that time, you are making little gains that soon will become an avalanche. It is on the unseen that is more valuable than the seen. The secret is in the little as long as they are based on the positive side of progress. These little things may be despised, but they can be your success or your downfall. When you are inconsistent, there is no actual progress in your life. It ruins your identity and makes things 10 times harder for you. The simple example is when the Israelites had the goal to reach the promised land. They were highly inconsistent. They cried to God when they were in slavery, and when God freed them, they constantly blamed and complained to God. They didn't have the virtue of being patient, because all they saw was the desert ahead of them that they had to walk through. But what was supposed to be an 11-day journey turned out to be a 40-year journey. How many times have you gone through the same loop over and over again throughout the years and you never learn it? Each year you say this time will be different, but in the end, you keep on making the same decision, or maybe even worse ones that are not really keeping you on the right track. You keep on circling around the chains which bundle you even tighter and tighter every time without hope of any breakthrough. It is time for you to free yourselves and make a difference. To break the chains and stop the loop of failure over and over again in life. Make your lifestyle to repeat the loop of consistency even though you do not see the fruits of your work. Because even though you do not see the physical results, your inner being progresses, and that is more valuable. You might argue that it is always easier said than done, but in all honesty, this is the decision only you can make. It depends on the reason why you are in the situation you are in and how eager you are to make things work. For some people believe that they are who they are, and they will never change, and that is fine. For others, there is a whole lot of potential in us which is yet to be discovered. The two people who make the decision for one rather than the other would never be the same person. With consistency, anyone can go in their own way and make a life they desire, but those who lean to God will win the whole package and fulfill the need of their soul. Eventually, you do not want to be the person who gains the whole world and yet loses their soul. Because while the path to victory may be worthwhile here on earth, there is an entire everlasting which is still waiting for us to enjoy when we get to the New Jerusalem. This is why there is a lot of things that our human strength will never fix unless we invite God to help us. It is not an act of weakness, but of strength when we surrender what we cannot control to God. He encourages us not to lean into our own understanding, but to trust in Him in everything we do. If you have an addiction, a need, a desire, or a hole in your heart, He wants you to approach Him for help because He can provide for you. Be consistent in your worship to Him, for He will never let you fail in all that you do. Remember, where God exists, the devil exists as well. And my prayer is that you will never mix the two. Never satisfy your flesh on the expense of your faith with God. In doing so, you will let the world twist and turn you around with no clear direction in life, which will make God's favor to take even longer and longer. It is better to wait for God rather than allowing God to wait for you. Let us not grow weary in doing good, for at the proper time we will reap the harvest if we do not give up. Galatians 6:9.